People think raising your standards, means you become arrogant, and that's not the case at all. When you change and you grow, you evolve, your space naturally changes, and it completely rewrites what you're looking for in terms of a relationship. And like now for me, it's amazing how different things are. You know, I look at my old self and what I dealt with, who I was. Like I said in the one video, um, you get in life what you're tolerating, but when you change, it is so much harder. It's so much more difficult to actually find someone that you would really want to actually be in a long term relationship with. LTR. Um, I know the dating scene gets a lot smaller. It's like when you look at a triangle and you you look at a pyramid and you look at the bottom of that pyramid, it's really big, it's wide. That's where all the company is. And as you raise your standards, you become a better individual. You work through personal growth. You go to the top of that pyramid and look at how much smaller it is. There's not much room and there's not much company. And again, not to sound arrogant, because it's not what you're doing. You shouldn't be doing. Your standards go up because you respect yourself more. You've made better choices. You've put in the work. And when you do that, I mean, your circle naturally will get much smaller, unless you're someone who, you're around a lot of like-minded people in that aspect. And if you are, you're very fortunate. But for most of the people, it's just not the case. And for anybody who's listening to this and is, experiencing that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I was younger, when I was drinking all the time, partying, there was always company. There was always company. All the time. And there was no shortage of people to talk to. There was no shortage of people to hang out with. I mean, if you want to go out, drink, it's easy to find people. Easy to find people. Even if you're not friends with them, you could be acquaintances. It doesn't matter. If you're drinking and you're enjoying it, you guys have something in common right off the bat, you know. And I remember when I did that, it was easy. If you went out by yourself, you'd find someone to hang out with or whatever. And even then, the dating scene is easier. But when you switch over and you become that different individual, you've completely changed. You shed that skin, that old self of you. Again, still always work to do, but you're that much more evolved. You're that much more perspicacious about life in general and about yourself and what you want in life. The like the choices that you have, the opportunities are a lot smaller depending on where you live. So your standards go through the roof. And for a guy like me, after putting in all that work, I am picky. I'm very picky. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I want, when I choose to bring someone into my life and disrupt my routine a little bit with what I enjoy, it's got to be worth it, Like I said before, everything in life is an investment. It's a liability or it's an asset. when you make that kind of investment of bringing someone into your life, you make sure it's a very, very good decision. You want to think it through. You don't want to use your emotion. And I've done that years ago in my life. And you want to lead with logic. So it gets a lot trickier. And even like I was saying for friends, same thing. You don't hang out with a lot of people at all in general. But depending on where you are in your evolvement and your personal growth, you start to see how things change a lot. People in general. And sometimes it's like you like sometimes I think maybe I am too picky, but I know what I've done, what I've put myself through to get where I'm at. I want to make sure that when I bring someone in my life, they're a compliment to me as I'm going to be a compliment to them in their life. So, yeah, relationships are a lot harder when you're on the path of personal growth. But the quality is going to be, they're going to be much better quality than when, like me, my old self. There was a lot more company, but like the saying goes, I'd rather have 4 quarters in my pocket than 100 pennies. Or I'd rather have a dollar bill in my pocket or a C note in my pocket than anything else. So it's definitely challenging, but when you really put in that work to become a better individual, everything changes. And I'm a massive believer that when you change, things will naturally fall out of your life because they're supposed to. And things will naturally come into your life because you've made that decision now to change and be a different individual. So now you're going to resonate with that aspect. You're that aspect of yourself, so now you're going to resonate with that. People, everything. Opportunities in general. It's just it takes a lot of patience. I've been single now. My last exclusive relationship has been 8 years. It's been a long time. Now, it doesn't mean there hasn't been, I've been out with women, but an actual exclusive relationship, it's been a long time. And that's just because my standards have went through the roof. I'm not going to tolerate any BS, anything anymore. So I hope you guys are doing the same thing. Because, like I said too before, it's your birthright to have the best in life. You just have to put one foot forward and keep going and keep moving ahead and just be patient and disciplined. So, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.